Hi, I'm John Dworkin.
And I'm Sunny Harmon, and we're with Lobby SC, a pro-business lobbying firm based here in South Carolina.
We just got done with week number 2 at the legislative session.
And it wasn't quite as busy as we had originally intended because we got a bunch of snow, as I'm sure many of you saw on the news.
And some ice.
So it kind of shuts things down here in South Carolina when that sort of thing happens. So very limited subcommittee and full committee hearings. The House and the Senate were already not going to be on the floor. They were in perfunctory session, but they did think they were going to get a little bit more subcommittee and full committee work. So, but a couple of hearings that happened prior to the snow and the ones that persevered even after the snow. You had Senator Michael Johnson, who's chairing a judiciary subcommittee this year.
Yeah, the liquor liability issue, right?
Liquor liability, and they had that dram shop bill up, and they took testimony on that. This is an issue that's been ongoing now for a few years, where especially your restaurants and bars and taverns are getting very exorbitant insurance rates in order to have liquor liability, which is required here in South Carolina.
And not only are those rates increasing, but we've heard from a lot of our local spots that they just won't get coverage next year. So I think there's a deadline looming to get something done.
So we expect a couple more hearings on that, but really good discussion in that first subcommittee
hearing. Well, I also think Senator Johnson clearly is setting the tone of they're going to get something out.
Some other things that happened this week. You know, last year we had that mystery $1.8 billion accounting error, and with the treasurer's office, is there $1.8 billion? Is there not $1.8 billion?
Is it not?
Billion?
Yeah.
So the report this week by Senator Larry Grooms
in the subcommittee,
in his finance subcommittee, and then reported on to the full finance committee as well, is that there's not $1.8 billion just laying around somewhere. There is some cash in there, but all of it is not cash.
Yeah, so they have a joint resolution to go out and hire a third party. I can't remember what they called it, but a third party group that's going to look at the whole process. So we were supposed. Let's talk about energy a little bit. Huge issue.
Yeah, so energy is a big issue. The House has really taken on that issue over the past couple years, and now the Senate has several energy bills in front of it as well. They're supposed to have two subcommittees this week, actually, but those also, due to weather, were canceled. But that does not mean that issue is any less important. We expect those to get rescheduled.
They have it scheduled for Wednesday morning at 10 a.m. and Senate did do some work on it over the summer, so I think they're ready to move forward.
And then another issue that we typically wouldn't cover, but just because not a lot happened this week, is Senate
it's not fake news.
Fake meat, which I don't think that's the proper way of referring to it, but synthetic meat or cell cultivated meat. Sounds a little strange.
Impossible to me.
But the Senate Ag Subcommittee and the Senate Full Committee got that bill and moved it out, but basically just labeling requirements for that, so the consumer doesn't think they're getting, chicken or beef when in fact or chicken or beef in the traditional way. They're getting it in this new lab grown way. What's one to do during the snow week? I
think the biggest news of the week was the portrait unveiling of Senator Nikki Setzler, 48-year senator. He was the longest serving senator in the nation, but more importantly, he will be sorely missed. He was a champion of business, economic development, but mostly he was a champion of the citizens of South Carolina. And the state is a better state because of that man.
Yes, and he was surrounded by friends and family for that portrait unveiling on Wednesday afternoon. So he is missed, serving in the Senate for sure, a true statesman. Thank you for tuning in this week. You can find us at lobbysc.com. We'll see you next week. Thanks. Bye.